what she said. She's magical, mystical, a powerful wonder girl.
Joining us now are business partners Martha Eleftherio and Angela Catanaro, who run monthly New Moon Sister meditation circles. What are those, you may ask? Well, these circles provide a safe, confidential, and inspiring place for women to show up, be seen and heard without any judgment. Welcome to What She Said, ladies.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here.
Thank you so much for welcoming us.
Now, Martha, you're a life coach, a Reiki master, and a yoga teacher. You know, why did you team up with Angela and start this? It's about 2 years ago now?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we've been doing the women's circles coming up to 2 years. Angela and I met at yoga teacher training about 6 years ago. And since then, we knew we had a common passion for not only empowering ourselves, but for sharing the life lessons that we've learned with women that come into our lives and into our circle. And 2 years ago, we started the New Moon Sister meditation circles together. And they've been absolutely wonderful, inspiring, healing, and really extraordinary.
Well, explain to people what happens in a meditation circle, because usually when we think of meditation, what comes to mind is a solo experience.
Well, with the group meditation, this is specifically a women's circle that is what was created by Unify, the Global Sisterhood, and they reached out to us when they had initially created the Women's Global Sisterhood monthly meditation on the new moon. And what this is it allows women to come together in a group, and we hold hands, and it's the same guided meditation. And on the same day, monthly, at the new moon, there are like 900 other women's circles also meditating with the same intention. So that's the difference in when you're holding meditation on your own, you would most likely hold it with an intention. But in a group, it is, you're connected, and there's a unified intention behind why you're meditating.
It's described as a place for women to show up, to be seen and heard without any judgment. So how does that work when you're meditating? Because I think of meditating as everything's quiet and you're just sort of
Saying
whatever. So explain, yeah.
So the first, I guess, half of the experience is a guided meditation, in which we do sit in silence. One of us will say the guided meditation and the women listen. So it's you're listening, sitting in silence. The second half of the experience is a group discussion in which there are a series of questions, and we discuss either in a large group or in small groups, depending on the number of women that come out to the event. And so that is the time and the place that women can be seen and heard and share sort of their deepest, darkest secrets, their fears, their passions, their dreams, without feeling like they're going to be judged, with feeling confident in who they are and feeling like it's a safe place to do that. So that's the portion of the evening that women share with each other and hold that sacred space to come together.
Now, you talk about living fearlessly. What does it mean to live fearlessly?
I define living fearlessly as being aware of what your fears are and choosing to work through them anyway. So depending on what you might be afraid of. So let's say I'm feeling insecure about a situation, being aware of what that insecurity is, and choosing to then take any actions that I feel I need to do in order to be happy, with courage and bravery, and doing it anyway. So feeling the fear and doing it anyway.
What's the difference between life and death fear and ego-driven fear?
Life and death fear comes from our innate need to stay alive. So we have egos because, prehistoric times, humanity needed to survive and stay alive. And if there was a saber-toothed tiger approaching you, your ego would kick in and say fight or flight response. So that is a legitimate fear to protect your life and keep yourself alive. The ego-based fear is connected not so much with keeping yourself alive, but so much connected with what other people think of you. If I I say this, what will people think of me? If I do this, how will I be perceived by my peers, by my boss, by my family? So the ego-based fear is different than the life and death fear, because your life is not on the line, but it's more connected with wanting to be accepted by other people.
So, for example, fear of heights would be a life and death fear. You're afraid of falling, right?
Right.
Whereas fear of public speaking, which many people have, is an ego-driven, because they're
Yes.
having to perform in front of people and concerned about. Yeah.
So it's interesting then, because so many of us have a fear of failing, that ties into living fearlessly
Yes.
as well. So how do you help people walk through those fears?
Well, walking through your fear again is identifying what your fear is. So if you've already identified, I'm afraid of failing, then making a list of, okay, what does it mean if you should fail? And why are you so afraid of failing? What I would do for myself is, if I'm afraid of doing this, what is the worst thing that could possibly happen? And if you're comfortable taking the steps in order to do it anyway. So if I'm afraid of failing, that, people are going to look at me and think like, what a loser she is, or I'm afraid of how it's going to look, then what is the worst thing that can possibly happen? My worst thing would not be doing it. Right. So I'd feel really disappointed that I didn't follow through with going ahead with that action.
Just kind of wondering, when you're helping people deal with fears, would it be, which are harder, life and death or ego?
Probably ego driven, because life and death, if you're hiking and you come into contact with a rattlesnake, what do you need to do? Instinctively
Get the heck out
get
of
the
there.
hell out. Yeah. Whereas when it's ego driven, it's really deep within, and we can rationalize not to do it.
Okay, now you are hosting your third annual Love Your Life retreat in February 2018. I can't believe I'm saying that already. And at the Kingbridge Center in King City. You're based in York Region. The meditation circles are in York Region. So what happens, and how do people connect with you if they want to come to your retreat?
So they can connect with us on Facebook. We have a Facebook event page, Love Your Life, Live Fearlessly. All the information about the retreat is on Facebook. They can also purchase their tickets through Facebook, or they can also contact myself or Angela directly and make arrangements to book the retreat. We have various options available. It's either a full weekend with an overnight stay, or if someone cannot come for the whole weekend, they can come for the Saturday or the Sunday.
That's awesome. Now, and you've also recently published your life stories in a book called Born to Be Me. Where can people get that?
Actually, you can get that on Amazon or Chapters Indigo.
Oh, so it's everywhere.
It's everywhere. And that's you can even contact us and we can get you a copy too.
So the Life Story Center, briefly on your experiences, your fears, what?
Absolutely. It's our stories with an experience in our lives that has molded us, that has changed us, that has made us into who we are today. And really, that was one of the scariest things I've ever done, to write your story, to make it published for the world to read, is truly a life-changing experience. And that, I can speak for you too, Angela, was life-changing and really stepping into our fear.
Yeah.
That's amazing. But tell everyone one more time what the Facebook page is, because that can go by on the radio quickly.
In Facebook events, Love Your Life, Live Fearlessly.
Love Your Life, Live Fearlessly. So you just go to Facebook events and you
Type that in, yes.
That is awesome. So thank you so much for coming in and telling us all about it. I didn't realize that there were so many groups doing that at the same time.
Yeah.
All over the place.
It's very powerful, the new moon meditation, as it happens all over the world.
And it's said that for one person who meditates with a loving intention, it will affect 750,000 other people.
That's amazing. Yep. We will be right back with more right here on What She Said on 105.9 The Region.
Well, she said she's magical, mystical, a powerful wonder girl.